Anthony, how you doing today?
Doing well. I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm doing doing real well. So what is going on in Virginia right now in our schools?
A lot. Um, we just had a new governor sworn in Saturday on the 15th, and he's already put out an executive order to do away with mask mandates and make it an apparent choice. And so that's one of the biggest issues that's happening right now. And so I'm just I'm fired up because I'm ready to utilize my voice to continue to advocate for the teachers and students across the Commonwealth.
I saw on Twitter yesterday, you said you wanted to advocate for teachers, advocate for our school communities during what seems to be somewhat of a crisis here in the Commonwealth. What is the big issue?
In my opinion, the safety of schools and children have been politicized. And that should never be the case. Like, school safety should always be the very first concern for teachers and as well as students, because we can't learn, teachers can't teach, and students can't learn if we don't feel safe. Because the one thing that's going to be at the forefront of our minds is what's going to happen, um, what has the potential to happen. And so we can't focus. We can't focus to deliver instruction as teachers, and students can't focus to receive instruction because they're thinking, well, what if I get sick? Or what if this happens to me? Or what if I never see my parents again? So it's a lot of dynamics that goes into what's happening within the educational realm. But school safety should never be politicized, and that's what it has become. It has become politicized, and that's a problem.
We're right at almost 2 years of this pandemic, and we're still talking about school safety. What is it like? It's January, you just returned to the classroom again. The governor has his mask mandate that he's trying to lift here soon. Why isn't it safe? And what is the real struggle here?
Number one, some students deal with autoimmune deficiencies, and they more may have disabilities that are not visible to the eye. Um, and then you have those students who live with grandparents and older family members, and whose family members may stay sick a lot. And so, not just worry about the students within the building, we also have to worry about the students' families, as well as the teachers. Right now, the teachers are um, having to choose between a career that they may have really wanted to do for all of their lives and their family. I don't blame any teacher. I used to feel a certain type of way when I saw teachers quitting, but now I don't. Like, I understand it now. Like, your family should come first. You have to take care of home first. And so, to as we're in this battle, to be able to choose with the career that we love or or the safety of our family, that's totally unfair. And that's what a lot of teachers are having to do right now, as well as students. There's those students who don't mind wearing the mask. I've seen students who don't mind wearing the mask because they understand, it's not just for them, but it's for the safety of others. It's also for the safety of their families. And then you have those students who are over the mask. We have those teachers who are over wearing the mask. We understand. But at the same time, I also have seen them still wear the mask because they understand this is not just for me. I have to be able to stay safe for the people that's around me. And so that is what's really happening. And it's ridiculous to me. Like, we should never have to choose between our family and our career. It should never be to that point.
It's really striking to me, and it's almost concerning when you say that it's a battle, right? A battle almost in the classroom. We're talking about education here, fostering the development of students, children, and our livelihoods. But we're talking about a battle with teachers wrestling between, can I even go on? How tough is that struggle for you right
now? I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was 11. And so teaching is my dream job. It's my dream career. And I have this mentality of, regardless of what's going on around me, I'm going to focus on the children. And there have been a couple of days where I have just had to really rethink and like really just step back and understand why teachers are quitting. And honestly, there have been some days where I've been like, it's been hard to catch my breath metaphorically in the aspect of it's a lot because since this pandemic has started, we've had to deal with the pandemic. We've had to deal with school safety. Now, this school year, we've had to deal with social media challenges that the students bring back to the school.
They're doing the TikTok challenges.
Doing the TikTok challenge.
They're not tearing down the stalls, are they?
Tearing down the stalls, stuff in the toilets, tearing down the soap dispensers. I'll tell you this, before we got out of school for winter break, that was the most stressful day in my teaching career out of the 15 years because of the TikTok challenge of basically bring a weapon to school. That and something happened in my school building. The principal asked me to get all the kids downstairs into a secluded room. And so I did that, but then all the students that were upstairs, they came to the secluded room again. And we had to stay there for a good 30 minutes because school safety. So someone had come on the intercom and the principal didn't know who it was. And so he's running through the hall trying to get the kids to safety. I'm helping him. And then we had high police presence that day because of all the social, all of these things we have to deal with as educators. Not only do we have to worry about us, but we also have to worry about the safety of the children. We have to put ourselves on the back burner to make sure that the kids are okay. And so after that spout, and it was a false alarm, I had middle school students running to me, crying, bawling, like, I thought I wasn't going to see my parents anymore. Like, oh my God, like literally. And then to see my building principal just slide against the wall and just hold his head and just sit there for a few minutes, not knowing what to do because, it's so many factors are playing into where education is right now. And if we're not careful, we talking about a teacher shortage, there will be no teachers, no professional educators to teach students if we're constantly being pushed away. And right now, I feel like that's what's happening because school safety is being politicized. Teachers are being pushed away from the profession.
How close are we to a shortage? Are teachers leaving in those large amounts already?
Yes, sir. I remember when the pandemic first started, I had one of my very first thoughts was, dag, I wish I was at retirement age. I wouldn't have to deal with this. And so you have those teachers who are retiring early. You have those teachers who are forced to leave because they don't receive a professional salary. And so they have to be able to survive on a livable wage. You have those teachers who don't receive that. So they leave them because of that. I can't even tell you how many teachers I've had to beg on Twitter not to quit. Teachers in Chicago, teachers in Michigan, had literally on their Twitter begging them not to forget their why, and, just trying to encourage them. But it's when it comes down to your mental and your peace of mind, they ended up quitting. And so you have teachers who are covering other teachers' classes when they're out with COVID or when they can't be there because we don't have people that's willing to substitute anymore. And so it's a lot of factors. It's like you don't get time to plan, but then they expect for us to teach to the best of our ability. It's like, for instance, I'm an instructional coach this year, and one of the teachers was out, and another teacher had to come cover her room. I told that teacher to go have her planning, and I would take the class. That teacher seemed so relieved, like, oh my God, you don't realize the weight that you just lifted off of my shoulders. Thank you so much, Mr. Swann. It's those things that's causing the teachers to quit. Like, and especially when you fear for your life, like we should not have to go to school wondering if a child is going to bring a weapon to school, or if a child is going to slap you because of a TikTok challenge. We
Right.
shouldn't have to deal with that. But that's what we're dealing with.
You're the 2021 State Teacher of the Year. And clearly, it's because you stepped up during this crisis, during the pandemic. Whether kids are bringing, I don't even know what weapons they were bringing, but we're just going to say weapons at this point. I know it was all types of weapons all over the country, and doing these TikTok challenges and the mask mandates. You have to do everything. You've been a counselor, you've been a coach, everything for them. And luckily, we are seeing some teachers be rewarded for that. You won State Teacher of the Year, but you talked a lot about having to walk teachers off the ledge on Twitter. Okay. We're looking at the big quit. That's what experts are calling it. What would be your advice if you see these teachers? Let's talk to a Black male educator. He's 24 years old. It's his second year in this profession. He only knows pandemic teaching. What's your advice to him to say, hey, bro, don't jump off that ledge?
So my advice would be that it'll get better. Right now, we're in a dark season in education, but darkness don't last always. Eventually, the sun will have to shine, just like outside. Like nighttime does not last always, and even if it's a cloudy day, the sun still shines. So my advice is hang in there, but at the same time, accepting reality. And after advising this new teacher to remember his why and remember, that the children need you and representation matters, and you're part of the 2% of African American males that's in the educational realm. Like all of that stuff is great, but at the same time, I have really had to reevaluate my thinking and realize that reality is here. And if anything is threatening your peace of mind and your soul peace, and you have to do what's best for you. And if you feel like education is no longer for you, and if you feel like it's going to give you a peace of mind, and it's going to lower your blood pressure, and it's going to lower your anxiety, lower your stress level, do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, if you drop dead today, your job is going to be posted tomorrow. That is the advice that I will give right now. Although I want teachers to stay in this educational realm and realizing that the kids need you, you still have to do what's best for you. And I'm realizing that too. My wife is a teacher as well. And I've had to talk her off the ledge so many times, you know, seeing her cry and saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do. And she's a veteran teacher. She's 10 years in, and she wants to quit. And like, I'm begging her not to quit. But now I'm like, honey, do what's best for you. Like, I want you to be happy with life. I don't want you to be miserable going to work. I don't want you to be miserable saying, oh Lord, here's another day. And it's like, do what's best for you and we'll make it through. And so that is my advice that I would give to teachers now.
You've been talking teachers off the ledge. You've had at-home conversations with your wife, who's a veteran teacher. Yet you're still showing up to do the work. What brings you that peace of mind?
Knowing that there's a child who needs me. If I can just change one life and talk them off the ledge, because believe it or not, our kids need us, like, because they're dealing with so much trauma, so much. But just them showing up to school and seeing your face and knowing that if I don't have anyone else, I know that I have Mr. Swann. That's what keeps me going. Like, I have this one student who I taught years ago, and he's going through, right now he's a sophomore in high school, and I taught him in 5th grade, but he's going through a really tough time. And just me still showing up, still texting him, still in contact with his mom, checking on him, and hearing him say, Mr. Swann, you really don't know how much you know, for you to check on me, that means so much to me because people don't do that. And I need that right now in my life. Like, those are the things that keep me going, because knowing that one day there's going to be a child to say, Mr. Swann saved my life because that's what happened to me. I was dealing with so much trauma as a student, but one day my fourth grade teacher, she saved my life because I was taken into foster care in the middle of class. But she said some words to me and she kept in contact with me and she followed me and she made sure I didn't get caught up into the justice system. Although I was being raised as an orphan, she made sure I was okay. It was a teacher who saved my life. And so that's what keeps me going because great teachers change lives.
Wow, what a powerful and uplifting, story and tribute that was to your fourth grade teacher. And you're doing the exact same thing that she is doing in saving lives of these kids in Franklin County, Virginia. So I want to thank you so much for coming onto the show and sharing those words and being such a positive voice as a Black male educator. As we know, roughly 2% of the workforce is Black men in education. Yeah,
Mhm.
y'all are winning all the awards nowadays. In 2021 and 2022, we got several Black men in several states who've won Teacher of the Year awards. And I
Yes,
know
sir.
just recently they gave y'all another award when you went to Indianapolis for the college football playoffs and the college football championships. How was that experience? Let's end on a positive, on a bright note.
Mind blowing. I'm still unpacking it mentally. Just having over 60,000 people to stand up in honor of you. And, as we were on the field, and honestly, it's just, I'm still unpacking it because according to my childhood and according to me, growing up in foster care from age 9 until I aged out in age 21 and not having parents, statistically, I wasn't supposed to be on that field. And so that alone is just like, I wish that every teacher could experience that because every teacher needs to experience that. Um, because we are some of the essential workers. We know that we need the healthcare workers, but right now we need teachers. And just this experience and being with the other state teachers of the year and the teachers of the year from the territories, it's been really mind blowing. Just meeting and collaborating and knowing that if we have each other's backs, if we need anything, like now that I know someone in every state and every territory and have met these people, and it's just really mind blowing. So I'm still unpacking. I'm proud of myself because I had a student who taught me how to follow the game of football because I didn't know it, but he taught me, and so I was able to understand the championship game. And shout out to my student who taught me that. And so it's just been really honorable, and I'm humbled to be able to represent the state of Virginia and to be able to advocate for teachers and students on behalf of the state.
What you mean you don't know no football? Virginia is a football state. As a former football
I
player,
know.
come on back to Max Out Time. Come back to the podcast again, and we can have another chat. We'll talk all about the game of football. I love the gridiron. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Anthony Swann. He is the 2021 Virginia State Teacher of the Year. He's been doing this for a while now. He's talking teachers off the ledge, and he's being such a positive influence in the Franklin County, Virginia community. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to leave us with?
I just want to tell the teachers that if you're still on the educational battlefield, keep going. It's going to get better. It's not going to last always. We just have to be able to come together as a community and support our students and do what's best for us as teachers so that we can make it through this hard time. Thank you.
I appreciate that so much, Anthony. I really do. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
You too.